Eagles, it's Trevor, it's Andrew, it's Jonah, it's the citywide special. The Eagles get a big win against the Giants in Saquon Barkley's return to MetLife Stadium. Is the team coming into form, or are the Giants just that bad? Trade rumors start to swirl leading up to the November 5th deadline. Will Howie make a move? The Eagles face the Bengals on Sunday. The Sixers drop the season opener against the Bucks. Joel Embiid is still not ready to play and will miss at least the next 2 games. The Sixers maintain that this is all according to the plan, and no one should be mad about anything. The Flyers are on their way to rock bottom early this year, losing 6 straight after getting swept by the Capitals in a home-and-home back-to-back. Is there hope for the team that the team can get it together, or is it time to start looking at mock drafts? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good. Thanks for having us here, Trevor.
Yeah, last minute, I knew Avery was not going to be here this week, but then Pat had to bail last minute, so here we are.
I'm trying to think of, this is like when you go to a bar and you order a citywide expecting like the classic PBR and whiskey. Instead, it's like a lion's head and like a shot of Jaeger or something, and you're like, well, I'll drink it. It's not the classic citywide.
Or it's where you like they're like, oh yeah, we can do that, and it's just like that'll be $15. It's like we're charging you for a beer and a shot. Like this isn't a special.
Yeah, happy to. This is my second time on, and I believe the last time I was on, we had just finished watching Michael Lorenzen's no-hitter.
Yes.
So we were real excited for what he was going to do in the playoffs back then.
Oh yeah.
I also think,
damn, we got a legit starting pitcher.
Also think I mentioned that I was excited to see the Eagles' depth at running back, specifically Trey Sermon. So
well, I was super pumped for what's his name? Who was that guy that was on like the Seahawks the year before? God, I can't even remember his fucking name.
Oh, I remember who you were talking about, but I can't remember.
Rashad Penny.
Rashad Penny. Yeah. I was so pumped
I was pumped for Trey.
I was really pumped about Rashad Penny.
And then they
if
just
he just
were
stays
like,
healthy, he's like legit. And they just did not even.
He stayed healthy because he did not see the field.
They tried him early in the season, and he looked like us out there. Like he was like kind of struggling to get 2 yards. Like he looked terrible.
Yeah, so ready to have some more scalding cold takes on this podcast.
That's what we're about here. What's the weather been like this week? It's been hot this week. Got hot again.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna cool down though this weekend.
Yeah, it was really nice this weekend. I saw a real live driving crooner on East Passyunk. He just had a bunch of Trump and Kamala stickers on his car. And
hell yeah.
He was just
knows how to really play the field.
Just for the love of the game.
In the similar,
I just love campaigning.
In the similar way
I don't believe in anything.
In the Eagles end zone, it just says vote. He was just like, these are the presidential candidates.
Just make your choice. Pick one of them.
He was singing some CCR karaoke while he was driving around, making everyone's Saturday.
That is like my favorite type of political campaigning, is just the guy driving around with the big speaker on top of the car, like the big goofy antiquated horn thing that looks like it was hooked up to like a 100-year-old record player or whatever, just blasting out whatever. Yeah, it was funny when I was in Ireland a few years ago. It was like that week was the election there. So there was just a ton of, they were doing tons of that. There were just cars doing that like all over the place. It's like, we just legalized abortion like yesterday, but we're still doing the thing with the car with the speakers on it. Fun place.
They should get the dirt bike kids to join in on these campaigns. Just like tooling around as loud as possible with like a Kamala flag.
Yeah.
That will definitely throw the election to Trump. I think everyone hates those guys.
Yeah, everyone keeps alluding to some kind of October surprise Trump video that's supposed to come out.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's going to be.
Did you guys see the sex tape? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, I've watched it 3 times. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. It's I'm told that if it will release, this will end his campaign. At least like 10 times over the past, 2-3 elections.
Before he came on, I saw a news story where like some woman who was introduced to him by Jeffrey Epstein, claimed that he immediately met her and instead of shaking his hand, just like groped her breasts and her ass.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, this isn't good. Like, yeah, like obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, duh, dude.
8 years ago, there was like an audio recording of him saying he does that, and no one cared. He still won the election. Like, yeah.
Yeah, still doing it. Still saying that stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. Fuck, what else? The fucking portal? Do you guys hear?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very stoked for the portal.
Yeah,
Have you visited the portal yet?
I did.
Oh,
And
really?
I saw things that no man should see. It's a portal. They say it goes to Lithuania. My friend. I did not see the portal, but I did see that there was a guy in Lithuania who held up a sign that just said "Go Birds" and sent it
Yeah,
to
that's pretty
Philadelphia,
sick.
which was pretty cool.
There's like, so it's a bunch of countries. It's like
I think last time it was just straight
New York
up
and Dublin.
New York
right?
and Dublin,
Yeah.
and it immediately got shut down because the people in Ireland were showing pictures of 9/11 to New York, which, shout out to them. We were talking about Ireland, great.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
They love driving around and
they'll
making
drive
fun of
around in the
9/11.
cars and yeah.
And then
Fun place.
there were OnlyFans models like flashing. So within 5 days they had to shut it down. And now it's been a year and they're like, you know who would really use this portal is the famously well-behaved city of Philadelphia.
Yeah. I saw something that they had some way to censor lewd gestures. I guess maybe there's a little delay and there's a guy like I don't know.
There's just a guy in the control room watching.
It's probably just run through some kind of AI that tries to detect people like giving the finger or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
If that's up to AI, then we're definitely going to be at war with both Ireland and Lithuania by the end of this week. Like, there's no way AI is going to be able to handle that properly.
But is it... So it's Lithuania, Ireland.
I think that's it.
Really? It's just those three?
It goes, yeah.
It just cycles through.
I don't know if Ireland and Lithuania can talk to each other.
Lithuania.
I feel like they should be able to, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be really weird if they're like, we're giving you a portal and it only goes to Philadelphia. That would be a real portal to hell.
Yeah. See, I feel like they really missed an opportunity because I feel like if they really want to get the most out of this, that they should pick countries that are more culturally different. Like it shouldn't just be like I guess Lithuania is at least sort of like Eastern Europe or whatever, but still like Ireland and Philadelphia, both Western culture kind of stuff. I think it'd be better if they had one that was just in like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
or like
that'd be good.
Kabul, just a bunch of Taliban guys. It's just like the people in Philly are just being like woo, and the Taliban they're just like, where's your hijab? Where's your hijab?
They'd be freaking. They would. I think the Saudis' heads would literally explode.
Yeah,
like in the movie Scanners, if an OnlyFans model showed her boobs.
Yeah.
No, it'd be funny. All the Philadelphians are waving, and then it's just like a live execution in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Some guys
they bring
getting
you
his
right
head
into
cut
the
off.
stadium.
I think for maximum toxicity, it should just be a portal from here to Boston and just let us go at it once and for all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The two cities with the inferiority complex just having at it. Philly Elmo shows up like, this is haram. Elmo is haram. Yeah, I would love to see that. Those Taliban guys are fun though. I mean, when they before they took over, they were hanging out in the gym and shit. Those videos.
Oh yeah.
When it was falling.
Well, the best, when people and someone like put like the boys are back in town in the background. There's a big montage of it. We should have the portal to the BRICS summit.
Oh yeah.
That's going on.
What's going on right now?
About to crush the US dollar.
With bricks.
With BRICS. Yeah. Well, I guess we can get into sports.
Oh, is that what this podcast is about?
I guess.
This is my favorite geopolitics podcast. I don't know about you all.
We all talk about the BRICS summit. And we're like, oh yeah.
That's happening. Yeah, seems like it could affect the dollar. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's Russia.
I'm
and
long
China.
dollar, short BRICS.
I did see they made a prototype of like their new currency, which looks pretty cool. It's just like
It's a brick.
Yeah, it's just literally a brick.
I'm gonna stock up on wheat and try to trade it for bricks. It's for my Catan heads out there, my Settlers of Catan friends. Yeah,
yeah,
little board game
once.
humor.
Yeah. What else do they have in that? It's like bricks and wheat. And
ore. Ore is worthless. Ore sucks. Yeah, ore does nothing for me.
You can't build stuff with ore.
You can build like a city, but not a.
That's pretty weird because like in my day-to-day life, like ore is like the most common.
Yeah, I'm always having to pick that up at the Rite Aid.
Yeah, I'm always.
So now it sucks they have the ore behind that glass. You gotta
get
ring up
the
an
special
employee
ore guy to unlock the ore.
And he's all mad at you.
It takes him like 10 minutes to come out. Yeah. And he's like, "Why did you do that?" It's like, "I'm here to buy the ore, obviously."
Yeah. Too many people stealing the ore.
It's crazy. This like they have like toothpaste behind that now, and it's like $4, and I have to wait. You have to wait like 20 minutes to get it.
Yeah. Well, what I think the way it is it's not really about the price of the things. I think it's just what homeless people are the most likely to steal.
Yeah.
That's probably what's driving that. So it's like deodorant and toothpaste and fucking. They'll leave like the $20 like vitamins or whatever just sitting out. You can steal those all you want.
Get Vited up.
Yeah, get some.
Well, what you do is you steal
or whatever the fuck.
You steal the vitamins, and then you get strong enough to punch through
the
protection and just take the toothpaste.
Oh, loophole.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it's a good idea. But the Eagles played this week.
Yeah.
There was a game. The Birds were playing at MetLife. Return of Saquon Barkley. Not a revenge game, as he said before, but almost breaks his rushing record. He scores a touchdown. Had a few huge runs. I don't know. What did you guys think of this one? I guess the big question is, does this make you feel any better about the Eagles or not really?
So this was definitely like the most enjoyable game of the season to watch.
Yeah. Stress-free.
And I had, I even like, though he's played a couple games, I've had this like Pavlovian response watching an Eagles-Giants game and hearing, and there's Barkley for a big run. I'm like, oh no, that's good.
No.
But no, he went off. He had 2 touchdowns.
I think just the one.
Just the one? Oh,
he had like 175 yards.
Hurts had 2 tush-push touchdowns.
Yes, that's right. And like the defense looks good. Like
second game not allowing a touchdown.
Yeah. And
not bad.
During that Cleveland game, that was like a game that was one of those games that was a win that felt like a loss. Just because they let Cleveland, they should have, they let them extend drives on so many like awful third down conversions. The defense looked terrible, and here the defense really stepped up and played well. The offense looked good. They were clicking. There was that incredible touchdown on 4th and 3 that was like a 40-50 yard bomb to AJ Brown, and there's that video of Saquon being like, damn, I wouldn't have thrown that, but all right, AJ Brown is good at football.
That play was terrifying. I was sure that was going to be a sack as it was unfolding. He barely gets it off.
They're definitely giving me flashes of the 22 team that kind of reminds you how much talent that this team has.
Yeah.
As far as like what I think about the future, I don't know. Going into the season, you got to figure Sirianni. I think Sirianni's probably coaching for his job.
Yeah.
And they haven't really given me a whole lot of confidence so far until this game. If Eagles fans were yelling at him after the Cleveland game and he was like chirping back, and it's like, oh god, dude, like come on, man.
Yeah.
This is a win, man. You gotta get with the program. But I think there's a huge game coming up this weekend versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati I think they have a lot of things in common with the Eagles. They're a team who went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, so they have like a good young core. They know they have their quarterback of the future. They know they have a stud receiver, and the results for them this season just haven't been there. And I think that they're probably thinking that they're a team who's better than their record is, and even though the Eagles are 4-2 right now, I still feel like they've left a lot to be desired on the field. I talked about the way the defense has been playing, just like a lot of like stupid little mistakes here and there on offense. So I think I'll get a better sense of where this team is and what our expectations should be after this week's game. And I think the point spread is like 2.5, which you got to think is like, okay, they're even on a neutral or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the NFL has just been like pretty weird this year in general. I feel like there is like a lot of crazy parity aside from like
Sam Darnold is
Sam
one of the
Darnold
best teams in
is
the league.
going to be a Pro Bowl. Like really,
Yeah.
and like the Chiefs look incredible, like in spite of Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey, which is like really scary to think.
Yeah, and they just got DeAndre Hopkins.
And they just got DeAndre Hopkins today. Goddamn. But you know, in the NFC, like it was awesome seeing the Lions blow out Dallas, but they've been kind of, you know, they don't look like the world beaters everyone was saying they're going to be. They have a big. I think they play Minnesota this weekend. That'll be a good game.
Wait, who?
The Lions do.
Didn't they just play this?
They played them last week.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
I think the Lions won.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, but no, I mean, I think like we'll get a better sense of.
Yeah, it's a good test this week. I feel like because it's, you know, they did beat the Packers, which feels like it was forever ago, but which is kind of funny because a lot of people, you know, feel like the Packers are good enough to make it to the Super Bowl, and they probably are. Somehow beat them and then started looking like crap. Yeah, pretty good game. I feel like still like a little up and down with Hurts. Like he's like so frustrating to watch because he'll make like that amazing play, like that touchdown throw to AJ Brown, but then the play right before that, he just missed a wide open receiver that would have been an easy first down.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, not like worried, but it's just like, it's just annoying because I feel like the like potential for him to like reach that ceiling is like right there, but he's just like not looking in the right place sometimes, or just making a bad decision.
It's been like that for the past, even when they were on that winning streak, you know, when they were 10-1 or whatever
last year.
You still didn't have like the confidence in Hurts that you had in 22. He just looked like off. He wasn't really able to put together a complete game. And I you know, even that Giants game that I said was like, you know, the most enjoyable game that we've been able to watch in a long time, and probably over a year. You know, like you said, yeah, he doesn't look like 22 himself, and yeah, I don't know.
And I mean, the fact is that they've, you know, changed offensive coordinators and tried to change systems, but the offense still has the same problems. And so at a certain point, it's like, kind of seems like this is just what Jalen is going to be, which is good enough still to take the team far, but is not like, I don't know if we'll ever see another game like the Super Bowl, you know, where he was just phenomenal in that game. And that could be an injury thing. Like, he doesn't look the same when he runs. And, you know, some of that explosiveness is gone, and it seems like it's affected the other elements of his game too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either injury or like, I don't know, maybe teams have just like studied enough film on him and figured out like certain tendencies in certain situations. Yeah, I mean, you know, I always think of that one like picture of last year where the entire middle of the field is like wide open. Yeah, and so like, you know,
he's still not throwing in the middle of the field.
He's still not throwing, and they've changed coordinators, and he's still like. It you know, I don't know, it may not have been the coordinator problem, because I haven't been overly impressed with what Kellen Moore has done.
Because I mean, I remember when they first hired Kellen Moore, I remember there was like, you know, these those like route charts going around, and it was like, here's what Kellen Moore did with like Keenan Allen last year, and it's just like night and day looking between that and like you know, like a Devontae Smith chart. And it's just like, okay, like finally we have a guy who's going to unlock the middle of the field, and we're going to be running all these creative routes. This is going to be great. And then fast forward this year, and it looks fucking the same as last year and the year before. So that's been pretty disappointing. But I mean, I guess on the bright side, like there's worse things you can do than just you know, chuck the ball to AJ Brown on the sideline. I mean, you know.
It's so clear that he unlocks the entire offense. Like the last two games versus the two where he was out, and how kind of sloggy and in the muck the offense looked without him. it just seems like having that deep ball unlocks a lot of other stuff and opens up running lanes for Saquon, opens up the underneath stuff for Devontae. Speaking of Saquon, I've been trying to think, have they made a better free agent signing than what we've seen from Saquon so far? Like, I've been trying to think since I moved here. I really can't think of another player who's had this big of an impact.
Terrell Owens, was he?
It's going back kind of a while. Yeah.
That's what I could think of. I don't know. Maybe was there a defensive signing or something? Like certainly not since they won the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they made a couple good trades. I mean, they got AJ Brown a trade.
Yeah.
You could just say Hargrave maybe, but I feel like Saquon's been more impactful than him.
Yeah, I think so. Especially, I mean, because it seems like, and this is kind of seems to be starting a trend around the league that it's becoming more run heavy. Like it's kind of got really pass heavy for a few years now. Yeah. And that's kind of correcting back to the mean. Mm-hmm. And luckily, it looks like the Eagles were kind of ahead of that, and they decided to just pick up the best available running back. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what this team looks like right now without him. If last year, I don't know, or who the fuck? Oh, DeAndre Swift. I was like, who the fuck was our running back last year? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Rashad Penny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rashad Penny and Trey Sermon. Yeah, I just don't know if they're able to run the same kind of offense that they are now with, just being able to rely on
it's
Saquon.
With Gainwell as the lead back. I mean, that's a huge, massive drop off, And I love Kenny G, but come on.
Yeah. So I mean, good pickup there. So definitely a few misses this offseason, like the fucking dude, especially after that DeAndre Hopkins trade. I forget what exactly the terms were, but it was like, I don't know, like a 5th round pick or something like that. And like we traded a 3rd for Jahan Dotson, who has done absolutely nothing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's I'm trying to remember the last time that Howie got fleeced that fucking bad.
Can't win them all, I guess, but
yeah.
No, it was like pretty wild that even with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith out, he was just like a non-factor in the offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They threw to Britton Covey more times than they did to Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. And now it's like, the Eagles keep getting brought up in trade rumors and stuff for like another receiver. I don't know if there's any if that's all just smoke. I keep seeing people talking about Cooper Kupp, but I think that's just pure speculation. I don't think that's
I don't know if that's a good fit.
I don't really know if I totally get it either.
I don't think they have enough really like passing reps to be worth doing that.
Yeah.
It's really like insurance in case Devontae or AJ gets hurt again, basically. Yeah,
because I mean it's hard to imagine getting a receiver in here who's going to want to come here and take less reps or less targets than wherever they came from, So,
they also might need that firepower for like the pass rush or the trade.
It seems like a defensive line player would probably be a bigger need, a pass rusher.
I feel like that's the biggest thing to watch for in this Bengals game coming up is like this defense has been playing on like the easiest mode of like the rookie Madden mode, and now
they're still missing tackles. They can't like tackle in the open field.
Yeah, and now they're actually facing like a real offense with real players. Yeah. So how they hold up against the Bengals, I think, will tell us a lot about how serious this team is and how serious this defense is, and whether it's time to throw Vic Fangio the parade or whether he's a Deshaun Watson and Danny Dimes merchant.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to see how they do against Higgins and Jamar Chase. Because I mean, so far Quinyon Mitchell has been like one of the best corners in the league. He locked down. As horrible as that Bucks game was, he did do a pretty good job against Mike Evans in that game. Everyone they've had him up against, he's pretty much shut down. So curious to see how he holds up against. I'm assuming they'll have him on Jamar Chase, though. Higgins has been getting like more targets over there, so I don't know. But yeah, that and Cooper DeJean's been like their best graded defenseman since he's been starting.
Yeah, he's played
I think
well
it's
on
time to find
defense.
someone else to return kicks.
No, well, I was just about to say he's been good on special teams too. He's had a lot of good returns. So yeah, no, that was a good draft pick.
Yeah. The first two picks looked like they nailed.
Yeah.
And now everyone on the team knows you're not allowed to push someone into the returner. So
Yeah.
they have a lot more clarity on that, which I think has helped the return team.
Yeah. Just, learning the basic rules, I think, has really unlocked Cooper DeJean's game. But, yeah, I don't know if there's much else to say about the Birds. They released Paris Campbell, but he's back on the practice squad now, right, I think?
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like in my brain, they've released him like 4 or 5 times at this point. I'm just like, I can't. Oh, yeah,
he did score a touchdown this year.
Yeah.
But I guess I think Anais Smith is maybe on his way to returning. I think they opened the practice window for him a while ago, so he might end up on the practice squad too. I don't really know, but I know everyone was like, all these like bullshit trade rumors that would go around. It was like, oh, they released Paris Campbell, so that's obviously to open up a spot for a trade. I was like, probably not. Yeah. It's probably not what that is.
Do you guys think someone talked to Nick and told him to tone it down this week, or do you think he's lying in wait for his next opportunity to cause a stir?
I think it was, and I think it was his wife.
His wife? Yeah.
You're embarrassing me, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that could get through. It would be really funny if she had no idea that he was going to shave his head or whatever. He just like
she needs to use the bathroom and he's like,
yeah.
Hold on a minute!
Wait! I'm doing something! You're going to like it. It's going to be cool.
I could see her stepping in and being like, "Hey, maybe using our kids as a human shield at the press conference is maybe like a bit too far. Like, maybe rein that one in."
They like the microphones. They like being in front of them.
Yeah. So that was like his step to shaving his head, and then I think in the Bengals game, he's gonna come out in Joker makeup.
Oh, that would be great.
And he's gonna be like, "I swear, it's for Halloween. I'm not gonna continue doing this." And then he's just gonna continue doing it, and he's gonna become the Joker.
He's gonna do the dance, the Joker stairs dance. Yeah.
Sing. Yeah. He's gonna sing one of the songs from the new movie.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I
great.
haven't seen. Did you see that?
I sure did.
Is it any good?
No.
Many are saying.
It was a crazy theater experience. I went opening day, and there were 6 people there for opening day of a sequel to $1 billion movie. And every single time they like opened their mouth to start singing, you could feel the whole theater like when it died. Like people were like, "What the fuck is going on? Who okayed this?"
Yeah, I feel like that movie.
Why is the Joker singing?
I feel like that movie is probably setting a record for walkouts purely because people just had no idea that that's what it was.
I think the cool thing about that movie is that, the first one was this big culture war, like thunderstorm, and everyone had to have a take, and everyone had to
mass
argue.
Shooter.
And the perspective the sequel has on all of that is whatever take you had was wrong. You're an absolute moron for even having an opinion about the first movie, which I happen to agree with. So I kind of enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, maybe Nick will be in for Joker 3.
He'd be great.
He'd be great.
Well, Tim Robinson has to play him now in the biopic, the Nick Sirianni biopic.
Yeah, I could see Nick Sirianni being at a resort and just spending all day on the what the fuck's it called, the the thing where you ride.
The zip line.
The zip line. Yeah. I was like, I cannot remember what that was fucking called. Yeah, I could definitely see Nick Sirianni just riding the zip line over and over again. Yeah. We'll probably go down to Cincinnati, get some Skyline chili.
Yeah.
Just in Joker makeup, eating Skyline chili on the side.
I I bet Cincinnati chili would be the Joker's favorite food. He's
Yeah.
like, spaghetti bolognese. What if it was gross?
It's gross and shitty.
Yeah.
I've never had it. Never been to Cincinnati. It's not. I gotta say, it's not on my list.
My mom's from there, so we went a lot as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I can tell you, you're not really missing out much. Nice ballpark, though. It's right on the riverfront.
Great American Ballpark. Is it still called that, or does it have like a corporate name now?
I think it is
It
called
got canceled.
Great American Ballpark, but that's because it's named after Great American Bank, so it's not really. It is a corporate name.
It's not named after America.
No, it's like Citizen. It's like Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, it's
where
not
like,
named after the citizens of
it's
America.
not the people's ballpark.
Yeah.
It's named after one great American, and every day they have a different person control their Twitter account, and you're the great American of the day.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I guess that just about wraps it up on the birds. We'll see what Nick Sirianni surprises us with next week. I guess we can. I guess I'll just give my little diatribe on the Flyers real quick. We obviously don't have to spend time, but yeah, that team's in trouble. Doesn't look very good. Came out, started the season pretty good. Had showed some flashes of some things, and it's been all downhill from there. It's kind of at the point where just position, like their centers suck, which is the most important position on the ice. So it's almost like they just don't have a functional team. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I wouldn't really be that upset if they just tanked and got a good draft pick. Fine either way. We'll see what happens.
After a start like this, like where does this put their playoff odds? Like, is it like 9%? Is it like 40%? Like...
I mean, it's still pretty early. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the fucking Oilers were off to a horrible start last year, and they made it to the finals. So like, I mean, I feel like it could turn around a little bit, but I feel like the problem is that it's not even. I mean, some of their players are playing kind of bad right now, but I also just feels like it's just, you know, the classic problem of not having enough good players on the team.
Yeah.
And so I just don't see, like, it's starting to feel like their ceiling was maybe a little lower than we thought it was.
At least that's an identifiable problem, though.
Yeah, like it's really easy.
They don't have Trey Turner and Bryce Harper knotted up in
yeah, exactly.
millions of dollars. For increasingly diminishing returns.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little more manageable.
Have they thought about handing a helmet and a hockey stick to Gritty and just being like, dude, we need you out there right now?
Hey, I wouldn't be against it.
I did. I saw my first Mishkov jersey in the wild on Saturday when I was walking to the movie theater.
Nice.
So, Mishkov theater.
He had a
fever.
goal. He had another goal tonight. He's like the leading the team in points as a 19-year-old. But yeah, I mean, but also if that's the best player on your team, you're probably not a very good team. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll get into that more next week. But yeah, they're not good. They're not a good team. they're pretty bad.
Onto a great team with no issues.
Yeah, they're completely normal,
drama free,
nothing to worry about at all. 76ers. Lose their opener today without Paul George or Joel Embiid. I guess Tyrese Maxey played pretty well. He looked pretty good. Yabusele looked pretty cool. That was probably the one little highlight, I would say.
I was pretty impressed with the way he played, especially on the defensive end. Even though he fouled out, he was playing aggressive, but he had a couple key defensive plays. He had a couple steals. I think he had 10 points too on the offensive end. So definitely impressed with him. I was also, I was impressed with Maxey, even though, we have been continually being impressed with him over the years. Without Paul George, without Embiid, he knew that he was going to have to be the guy, and he really stepped into that role. He was very, very aggressive on offense. Played well on defense. He wasn't afraid to go at Giannis, to go at Brooke Lopez down the post. But
the fantasy MVP last year, Brooke Lopez.
I do think that kind of was ultimately, you figure Giannis is going to go get his, but ultimately, like, the combination of like Giannis and Brook Lopez without Embiid was just like too much down the post for them. Although Andre Drummond is you can see why they went out and got him if they knew that Embiid was going to see some reduced playing time in here, because you need someone who's going to be able to step in and play center at a competent role night in and night out when Embiid isn't in there. And he was good enough at some points, not good enough to get the win, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, this season is going to be an interesting one. I mean, are we just kind of like settling in and being like, well, the Sixers are going to be a play-in team at best. Like, we're not even going to try and go for a home, series or whatever. Or what do you guys think about this season long term?
It's hard to say after one game. I was encouraged by a lot of the stuff that you were saying. I was on DHgate trying to remember how to spell Yabusele for.
I had to like Google his name like 3 times, like trying to, like the Gersh, and like.
I think Tyrese looked better in this game than he looked in a lot of the Embiid-less games last year.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and
I think the team as a whole looked a lot grittier than they looked in those games without Embiid. There was that point where they were down 23-24, and they didn't just throw in the towel. They fought back and got it, cut it to 12, which is kind of like a dumb moral victory. But it was like, for opening night for a game that they shouldn't have won, it was heartening to see. I think that for me, my big concern, and I don't necessarily know how much getting Embiid and George back completely solves this, was just how much smaller they looked than the Bucks, and how easily the Bucks were able to out-physical them and out-strength them to get kind of whatever they wanted. And this was the issue we saw with this team going in as it was constructed, was it looks a little small. There's not really a sort of guy who can hang with Giannis, and obviously Embiid would do some of that, but I'm not sure if subbing out Drummond for Embiid totally solves the size issues that we're having. And yeah, to your point, it's like if Embiid's not playing that often, it's hard to see this team in the East. I guess the East could be weak enough that we could settle in at the middle, but it's like you do need at least probably 50 plus games out of Embiid and Paul George to get there, and it's just tricky to say where it is now. And if we end up in the play-in, I think we're cooked no matter what. But I don't know what y'all think.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go as far to say we're absolutely cooked in the play-in. I think it's way too early for that. Because I also watching tonight, I was like, well, I need to see how Tyrese Maxey and Paul George play together in the backcourt, which we haven't seen.
Also, if you watched last night, apparently Mikal Bridges is no longer able to shoot the basketball, so that's an interesting development for the Knicks, one of our big rivals.
Yeah, the Knicks. I feel like it's funny. They had this, that pretty impressive playoff run last year, where it looked like they had really, solidified this identity as this super gritty, super aggressive and physical and blah, blah, blah. And they just destroyed that in the offseason. Yeah. And just, they're just completely let's blow that up. And, I don't know. I mean, just one game. And it was obviously, against the Celtics, who looks like they're going to cruise to the finals again. I mean, Jesus Christ. They looked ridiculous. But, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns just not that, does not fit that MO.
Yeah, that was kind of a head-scratching pickup.
But yeah, I guess to your point, maybe avoiding the play-in isn't as important as avoiding the Celtics side of the bracket, which is kind of where it was last year, where it was if we can get in that 2-7 matchup, we have a punchers and everyone's healthy. We have a good chance. Everyone wasn't healthy last year, and the supporting cast wasn't nearly as good as it was. But if you drop this team into that situation, I do think they win that series. So it's impossible to say right now, given how chaotic things seem to be behind the scenes.
Yeah, I guess getting to that, what do you guys make of all this this Embiid, the plan. The process, old news. It's all about the plan now.
Yeah, well, apparently the NBA thinks it's illegal because they're launching
they're investigating.
Investigation.
They love investigating us.
I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what they could be looking for. I don't know what they're trying to find. I don't know where they're going to start with this investigation because like it's not. There's no rules that say you have to play.
They should probably start by looking at Joel Embiid's basketball reference page and seeing how many games he's missed over the years. I think that would answer all of their questions very quickly.
Like what are they? I don't know what they think is going to come out of this because like they're going to be like, he's healthy, you have to play him. Then Nurse can be like, he could just bullshit and be like, actually, we think Drummond is the better matchup in this game, so we're gonna play him. Like, there's.
Well, I guess they tried. In the institute that rule where it's like, I don't know, if more than like two of your star players are out, they have to have some kind of injury designation or something. I don't know.
My understanding is a lot of this is like a technical like trigger that has to happen under certain things, and so. Because they're designating Embiid as like load management right now, that the league has to, that the rule says they have to investigate, more than this being like, they're going to come arrest Daryl and Nick Nurse and Joel.
It's a bureaucratic formality.
But that's the other thing about this is like, Embiid clearly needs the rest, they're clearly doing what they can, but just the Sixers medical staff, the front office, the coaching staff has earned absolutely no benefit of the doubt for the many years of how they've mishandled every situation like this. They really can't be like, trust us. They can, and they kind of have to some extent, but this is the response you're going to get to that. Because they've bombed in this situation 100 million times.
And it's just, you just can't get around how weird it is, the idea that, I don't think plenty of teams have implemented load management plans on their star players or whatever. I don't think any of those plans involve missing the opening game of the season. So it's just like, there's definitely something more. Like, I got to play this fucking Nick Nurse being questioned about this. I think this is Kyle Neubeck.
I think to that point, when people hear you guys have a plan, they think of those things like not playing back-to-backs, resting him in the middle of the season. But without any kind of setback, and we're saying he's on schedule throughout the preseason, how do we square that he's not ready to just play games? We're just trying to figure out. Because it's not like the regular season opener snuck up on you guys.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to you. Right? He's in practice, he's looking good, he's progressing, he's not quite ready yet, he'll be ready pretty soon. I don't know what else to say. Okay?
He's like answering that like he just got caught with like a kilo of cocaine in his car.
Yeah, playing it real.
It's
playing it real close to the vest.
I feel like what I kind of think happened, and what I guess would probably be the most charitable to the Sixers and how they're handling this, is that I think that after last season, they probably had some kind of like conditioning schedule thing kind of laid out, and the Olympics just put a wrench into all that, and now they're behind, and they're hoping that he'd be ready, but now he's not, and they can't really come out and say that because they don't want to throw Embiid under the bus or make it seem like they're mad at him for playing the Olympics. I think that's pretty much what's happening here, but it's still very just, I don't know. It's just, given this team, and like you said, like the history of all the fuckery that we've had around the medical staff and the coaches and everything, it's just hard to not be like, what the fuck's going on here?
When you say conditioning, do you mean like a weight loss thing or something? Because he was playing basketball, so it's not like a basketball shape, but he cut what, like 25 pounds or something? So they claim. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like a lot of weight to me. like is he going to lose strength?
It's a lot, yeah.
But I don't know. He's a big guy. I don't know. Maybe he can afford it.
The theory of the case there is that he's gained a lot of weight over the years of playing. And when you look at bigs who have prolong their career, like Tim Duncan. They did it by losing weight. That when you're that big, cutting down on just the amount of weight and the pressure you're putting on your knees and your feet when you're stepping and running seems to be a key to prolonging it. Embiid's such a unicorn, such a physical, outlier that it feels like guesswork to me. It feels like people are just applying, oh, this worked for Tim Duncan, so he should do this too. And I have no idea if his body can support that, if he can support that. He might have to get used to it. And that's the other thing, is that when we've seen Embiid come off of these layoffs and start playing, he hasn't looked great. He takes a couple of weeks to get into game shape, to really get going. That's why these injuries, and when they come in the playoffs, always fuck him up, is that he's then loses the conditioning he has. So when he comes back, he's out of shape. I think that it's very hard to just keep a body like that in basketball shape if you're not playing, which means that the longer this gets put off, the longer we're going to have to deal with that sort of warm-up period as well, which is frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, every season we have the ritual of the first few games. Everyone's like, "Oh, Embiid looks terrible. This is fucked. We're gonna miss the playoffs." Blah blah blah. And then 10 games in the season, he looks like an MVP again.
Yeah, like in the middle of December last year when he would score 50 points every single game without hesitation.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're doing, is they're just waiting until so that all plays out in March, and then when he hits the MVP form, it's April and May.
Yeah.
And they're just skipping all of that stuff. They're just moving all of that stuff back so that it doesn't happen in October and November this time.
Yeah, maybe. Just got to play around with the schedule. Just and evade Adam Silver's Gestapo trying to put us down.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, I just saying this as a non-biased observer. I think the way that Adam Silver has treated Joel Embiid is the worst that any human being has ever been treated ever in all of history.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
And I think that Adam Silver should spend the rest of his life in solitary confinement.
Sharing a cell with Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah, get ready to learn Dutch, buddy. You're going to the Hague.
Yeah, if Trump or Harris are listening and they want to win Pennsylvania, lock him up. Lock Adam Silver up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so then Paul George obviously not playing in this game. I guess they said, they'd be reevaluating him later this week.
Yeah, and he has the injury that he suffered in the game,
bruise.
So it's more clear-cut in that situation. But, they said they reevaluate him later this week. It seemed like people were optimistic that he'd get back pretty soon, so I'm not as worried about it.
I remember after the days after the injury, they were kind of downplaying it and making it sound like it wasn't going to be a big deal, which,
Yeah, it sounded very minor. I mean, when the results first came back, they were saying there's a possibility he could have played tonight. Obviously, that didn't happen, but, we'll hopefully we get him back sooner.
And one thing they really could have used tonight was another ball handler, another creator. And I think that getting, even while we're waiting for Embiid, getting someone else out there so Maxey doesn't have to quite have that much of a burden. And he's clearly, the entire defense right now is focused on stopping Maxey. And so it's great that he's still able to get his in those circumstances, but adding Paul George will unlock him and also unlock the offense a lot more, I think.
Yeah.
So that 38-year-old Kyle Lowry doesn't have to be our second most important player.
Yeah,
or Eric Gordon, who looked pretty unplayable tonight.
Yeah,
dude, we were watching, and Caleb Martin threw up a bad shot, and I was like, he's been playing like shit. And then I realized I was getting him confused with what's his name, with Eric Gordon, and I was like, oh no, but Caleb Martin actually, he played pretty well. I think he finished in double figures in scoring and had a couple rebounds, but then Eric Gordon in 22 minutes, I think he had 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 3 turnovers or something like that.
Yeah.
Also,
Eric Gordon finished 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 points.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he is going to be the player that is going to be driving us nuts all season.
Yeah, sure, he scored 2 points, but at least he's also dog shit on defense and can barely move.
Yeah. Yeah, Caleb Martin finished 12 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds in 37 minutes.
Yeah, nice.
Not a bad showing.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about Caleb Martin is that like his regular season stats do not matter at all. He's a 16-game player. Like he's here for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like, you know, he'll give you what he gives you in the regular season, but he's like one of those guys who you just can trust, you know, to play big minutes in the games that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to see a little bit of McCain. He came out. I guess Adam Bona played 3 minutes at the end there.
Yeah, McCain, they put him in garbage timer, as they say in the Premier League, rubbish time.
Rubbish time.
He had a couple points. What do you have, 4 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
4 points, 2 rebounds.
4 points. He also at one point was feeling himself and chucked up like a Steph range 3.
Yeah, he took a very deep 3.
It's like, all right, man, like get after it. But yeah, the crowd went nuts when they announced him, so it was good to see him get some minutes.
Speaking of the crowd going nuts, an excellent showing for Brickin' for Chicken tonight.
Yeah,
well, it's the BRICS Summit. I mean, you gotta.
Yeah,
the BRICS. The BRICS and
Putin made in the
chicken.
call.
the BRICS Summit. Yeah.
Yeah. Good that you have to pay. You have to pay for the well, they're free, right? Fuck, that doesn't work. I was gonna say you have to pay for them with the BRICS money, but I guess because the BRICS money technically doesn't exist yet. It's just like
the way it
prototype.
works is everyone gets a certain amount of BRICS money after however many free throws that you can then redeem at Chick-fil-A for chicken nuggets.
Chick-fil-A, the official restaurant of the BRICS conference.
They're catering the BRICS conference.
Putin's like, thank you to our sponsors, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
The cows are here. We love the cows.
Dude, you know next year fucking James Harden's going to be at the BRICS Summit.
Oh, yeah, that'll
China,
be great. Yeah,
he'll be in
absolutely.
There. You'll be, with those, just flashing those whatever, whatever they call the currency.
The only way to buy the wine will be with the BRICS money.
The BRICS money, yeah.
You can't buy the wine with normal money.
Yeah, no dollars here. Yeah.
I wonder, does Basketball Reference keep track of which players have given us the most chicken and Brickin' for Chicken?
Unfortunately, no. I'm trying to think if you could search like missed free throws, but you can't search like consecutive for the Brickin'.
Could be a cool new advanced stat.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe the next
Someone
thing
should take
in
that on.
sabermetrics.
Yeah, someone's just going to start grinding all the tape to figure this out and make a website and then have it fail immediately.
I was telling you guys upstairs, but I was in the building for the night that Giannis missed 6 in a row to give us a free 12-piece, which was
Did you get them?
Electrifying. I did go. I went to the Chick-fil-A the next day.
I remember downloading the app that night, but I didn't go because it was, I don't know, it was kind of far away.
It was mobbed.
I didn't feel like walking
and I
over there.
tagged Giannis in my panoramic picture of the mob Chick-fil-A.
There's only the one Chick-fil-A in South Philly, I think.
You're like,
Delaware Ave one.
Yeah.
And if you go at like a normal time, there's like 2 different lines that swirl around the thing. I cannot imagine. I've never actually redeemed the Brickin' for Chicken. I can't imagine it's worth it.
I think I got the best was when they had the Frosty Freeze out, and they also had the Wendy's at Broad and Snyder. So I remember one time like going to a game, got the Frosty. Then I just went like
just
on the
immediately.
Yeah, I got off the train, went and got my Frosty. That was nice, man. I miss that fucking Wendy's.
I remember way back, and this is like the pre-process era. So when they had like the Spencer Hawes, Thad Young era, they would do like if the Sixers scored 100 points, you'd get a Big Mac.
Yeah,
and my brother would just like go to the Sixers were awful, no one was watching them, so he would just like go to McDonald's and be like, the Sixers scored 100 points last night, whether or not it was true. And they would just give him a Big Mac.
I was at a game when they were doing that promo, and the Sixers had 99 points with garbage time, and they had won the game. They locked it in, but they needed one more point for the promo. And Doug Collins had them dribble the ball out instead of shoot. No. And the whole crowd started booing. Even though they won the game, they were showered with boos.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like Nick Nurse would not do that.
Yeah.
Doc would do that, though.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys, you're not getting this.
Yeah, I could totally see, if they had that promo now, it'd be like, we need one more point. They're about to dribble it out, and then Maxey decides to just run up and dunk it to please the crowd, and comes down and tears his ACL.
He tears Embiid's ACL somehow.
Yeah, the contact on the floor ripples out. And
just everyone's injured. That's what would happen. I remember that guy, I forget who that one baseball player was who, celebrating a walk-off home run, jumped up onto the plate and tore his ACL. I forget who that was. It was someone on the Angels, I think. That was years ago. But
yeah.
Nobody jumps anymore. Yeah, the fucking
the stat nerds, the sabermetrics, they've taken jumping out of the game.
I know. Those fucking Moneyball assholes. Don't swing at anything, don't steal bases, don't jump on the plate because you might tear your ACL.
Well, look what Moneyball did for the Oakland A's, huh? Maybe it's
exactly.
not all that it's cracked up to be.
I do love how after that, all that shit went down with the A's, how people are using it as an indictment on Moneyball. It's I don't think anyone understands what because the thing with that was it's I feel like what people took out of that was that you can have a poor ass team and win the World Series, and it's not exactly what the takeaway was, because then all of the rich teams just applied the same logic and just now we're doing all of these things and also have money.
Yeah. Also, it was probably not
2009 Yankees that beat us in the World Series were pretty much, I feel like they were the first team to really embrace all that stuff that won,
The true lesson of Moneyball is if you've developed a secret strategy that gives you an edge over your richer opponents, don't invite Michael Lewis to come write a best-selling book about it.
Yeah. That was probably the same reason why that crypto guy got put away.
Which one?
The
that could be 45.
The guy
scam Bankman-Fried.
I was literally about to clarify by being the really weird one.
Oh sure, yeah, of course.
Exactly.
The annoying guy.
Yeah. No, the
Yeah,
Bankman-Fried or whatever.
Scam.
Oh yeah,
Michael Lewis is obsessed with that guy.
Yeah, he was writing a book on
about
him.
Being he was a visionary, and I was dude, this guy may be an idiot. Michael, I do love Moneyball. I haven't read any of his other books. I don't know what else he writes about, but he was defending him as he's being dragged away to prison and stuff.
Well, he needed his vegan meal in prison.
Yeah,
that was the big thing, right? That was the big thing where Sam Bankman, he was a political prisoner because he couldn't get vegan food in the Bahamian prison.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it shouldn't have been committing fraud and all that other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he's listening to this right now.
Yeah.
Needs to hear that.
This is actually the only podcast he gets in prison.
Yeah.
you know how
this podcast, we refuse to do any kind of, we're not gonna cave into doing ads for these predatory sports books or Manscaped or any of that kind of stuff, but we do have a deal with the for-profit prison network. We have a special deal.
You know how in Abu Ghraib they would blast Rage Against the Machine.
Oh,
They just play this podcast really, really loud. It's great.
Yeah. He's I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you anything. And they're you have nothing to tell us. We just need you to know about the latest takes on Joel Embiid's ankle.
I'll tell you which shitcoin to buy.
Yeah.
Poop coin is going to the moon.
Yeah. You ever seen the card counter?
Yeah. That movie
that movie's great.
I love those. There's where the flashback scenes where it's Abu Ghraib and it's the fish, the crazy fisheye lens.
Yeah.
Metal. It's oh my god.
I went into that movie not knowing anything except that it was good, and I was all right. I love the Rounders.
Yeah.
Time to watch
a little Vegas style shenanigans.
Another classic
poker
gambling movie. A movie about guys who love playing blackjack like me.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that movie rocks.
Yeah.
Taught me how to count cards.
Yeah.
And
Taught me how to be weird.
Yeah.
And it taught me where...
That's a movie that taught me that it's okay to be weird.
It taught me that it's okay to be weird as long as your dad committed suicide because he was a U.S. torture fall guy.
Yeah.
Every night now, I either count cards or I sit completely straight up and write in a diary for 5 pages at a time.
Yeah. Cover all of my furniture in bed sheets.
Oh yeah, I've got to do it.
You gotta do that first. Yeah, I feel like everyone's turned the podcast off.
Look, this is meant to torture Sam Bankman-Fried. All right, it's not meant to be entertaining.
I did have. I had an article that I wanted to bring up. We never when Avery and Pat are here. They never give us time to get to the fun New York Post articles that I dig up. But we got a few minutes, so this is a good one from the New York Post, the paper of record. God, there's so many fucking ads.
It's my paper of record.
Yeah, the headline is Russian fat Leonardo DiCaprio sent to fight at Ukraine front after weight gain spoils likeness to A-lister.
Wait, Leonardo DiCaprio is fat now.
Wait, so was he...
He got too fat?
Well, listen to this. The article starts, he went from Thinception to the Great Fatsby.
You know that meme of the guy writing on paper with quill and it like the paper lights on fire? That was that New York Post writer as he was developing that.
Like, this is my best work. Who's the byline here? Yeah, let's give our man his props. Chris Nessie.
Chris Nessie, come on the pod.
Chris Nessie, come on, Citywide Special.
Yeah, like listen to this prose. Okay, so a Russian computer programmer who rose to short-lived fame for his resemblance to actor Leonardo DiCaprio has been sent to fight in Ukraine because he packed on too many pounds and wasn't working anymore, according to a report from Russian media. Roman Burtsev, 41, of Moscow, went viral in 2016 after posting his picture on a dating website when he was branded with a mixed compliment moniker, the Russian fat version of Leonardo DiCaprio. Due to his likeness to the Oscar winner, most notably his piercing blue eyes. Fuck. And then, let's see. A lot of pictures here. Before long, it was Catch Me If You Can for modeling agencies who courted the then... This guy's really cooking with gas. Who courted the then 33-year-old for photo shoots that called for Leo lookalikes, despite being 8 years younger and nearly 100 pounds heavier than the Titanic star.
He's a Titanic star, all right.
Yeah,
I was waiting.
See, he missed that one.
Yeah.
Burtsev earned a decent living leaning into the resemblance, eventually ditching his programming job to make a go at impersonating the actor full time. Then in 2020, COVID-19 struck, and demand for his Leo look sank faster than an ocean liner striking the ice.
Oh man, he left us hanging.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's a true master.
Oh yeah, this guy's
makes you wait, makes you think it's not going to happen, and
he
then
brings you back
delivers.
in.
Yeah,
boom. Before long, Burtsev had unceremoniously departed from his modeling career.
There we go.
Yeah, they didn't even put "departed" in quotes. I don't know if he even realized that he got one in there.
At a certain point, when you're in the zone,
that's like a 30 Rock joke. You don't even realize it's there.
Broke and living in a small apartment with his parents, the former celeb doppelganger reportedly gained even more weight, he told The Mirror in a 2021 interview. With his ballooning girth putting an end to his Leo likeness, Burtsev worked a handful of odd jobs before he was drafted to fight in Ukraine. He was lured in part by a nearly $21,000 bonus for completing training and a salary of around $2,100 per month, according to a Russian news outlet Gazeta.
Wait, so how old is this guy?
He what did it say? Well, I think it said it was 33 when he started doing this. I guess he's 40. I think he's 41 now.
Okay, and that's draft age in Russia?
Yeah, they're sending everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, the point of the story is that they're drafting a 40-year-old fat guy
yeah,
to the front lines.
Hey man, this isn't no G7 country. This is a BRICS country.
that's how they roll in the BRICS.
You don't get let off for that kind of thing. But I do love this feels like it kind of feels like some kind of what's that show called? Black Mirror. Feels like one of those episodes where it's like this, where a whole society where like you have to get surgeries and like make yourself look like some celebrity, or else you get sent off to fight in the war against like the insect creatures from Starship Troopers or something. You just have to keep getting like plastic surgeries. You can't gain too much weight.
Well, it's crazy to me that, like, it seems like the two ways to go viral in Russia are either like, oh, this guy kind of looks like fat Leonardo DiCaprio, or like running over 10 people in a car with your dash cam on and posting that to Instagram Live or whatever.
The Russian dash cam videos are so good. Those are one of my favorite genres. Because I guess everyone has them in Russia.
Yeah.
Because like insurance fraud is rampant there. So yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I just imagine this guy just like sent this off to his editor, and they just like sent it back, and it's like, we need more. I don't think people really are understanding the fact that this guy's a big fat ass. I think you need to put a few more little zingers in there. But thinception to the fat guys. Man, I mean, I hope he makes it. I don't have a dog in this fight between Russia and Ukraine. I just hope everyone has a good time, and
I hope he finds a 24-year-old Ukrainian woman over there.
Yeah.
And then marries her for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets back on his horse and get back to doing what he loves.
I'm heavily leveraged in BRIC dollars at this point, so I need whatever's going to drive up the price of my BRIC currency.
Price of the BRIC's going up.
My BRIC needs to go up.
Yeah, I gotta get it on some of this. Put my it's gonna take all the money in my 401k and put it into BRICS. But I don't know. Any final thoughts?
I do just want to say, I think this guy missed out. I think the What's Eating Gilbert Grape was there for him. Some kind of What's Eating Gilbert Grape pun.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, What's Eating... Wasn't that about, like, a big, like, fat lady or something?
I honestly have never seen that movie.
Yeah,
I just remember the video title from when I was
a guy named Gilbert
kid.
Grape who's just getting eaten all the time.
What is it?
Definitely. When I was 6 and I saw that at Blockbuster, I thought that was what it was about. I 100% thought that was the plot of that movie.
It's like an art horror film. Yeah. And then at the end you find out like the creature turns its face and it just says society.
It was me. No, it's just like pitch black. There's just no visuals the whole movie. It's just pitch black, and it's just a guy in a dark room. It's like, what is it? What's eating me?
Stop! Don't you know I'm Gilbert Grape?
I don't deserve this. But at least tell me what it is. Oh, fuck.
That's the kind of sports analysis that people tune into this pod for.
They tune into sports analysis and commentary on the BRICS.
Yeah, BRICS, the BRICS summit. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
BRICS. So BRICS strong by.
Yeah.
This Russian guy sounds like a cell to me.
Yeah, cell. Yeah, he's washed. Mm-hmm. And might not make it back. You don't want to bet all your bricks on him. But I guess that'll just about. I think I'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and a review wherever you get a podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.